let me start here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Josh Schoenly. I am dual licensed with eXp Realty and with NEXA Mortgage. And with NEXA, we have a weekly town hall for all NEXA LOs, and that town hall is running long. It started an hour ago, running a bit long. I'm sure Jordan will be here momentarily. I know he was on that call as well. But what we're going to talk about today is a new product being offered by one of our top wholesale lenders, which is a zero down conventional mortgage option. A zero down conventional mortgage option. We'll share some of the particulars, the guidelines, etc., and also how you might use this as an opportunity or a good reason to reach out to some potential clients that maybe, I don't know, they were interested and fell out, or maybe unconverted folks, just to pique their curiosity and create some conversation opportunities for yourself, and hopefully sell more homes the remainder of the spring and summer, and even into the fall as well. We would like this to be as interactive as possible, and so if you can use either the chat or the Q&A box if you have a question, and if you would like, we can even open up your line if you'd like to ask a question, if you'd prefer that over using the chat or the Q&A box. Let me just hit up Jordan to see where he is at. This new program was launched, or at least the press release on it was mid last week. It was either Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So this is when I used breaking news to invite you to this session. That truly is what this is. It is very, very new. It's not even been released for comment or interest for even a month. I'm sorry, even a week yet. So I'm waiting for Jordan, but while I am waiting, let me give you the basics of this, okay? And I'm just going to go right to the wholesale lender's website, which is they're one of the top wholesale lenders in the industry, and we do a ton of business with them at NEXA Mortgage. The lender is United Wholesale Mortgage, and you can see here that this is a UWM exclusive. So this program is exclusively being offered by UWM. It's a zero down purchase program. So qualified borrowers receive a 3% down payment assistance loan up to $15,000, which allows us to help borrowers get into a home with no down payment. Here's how it works. The first lien mortgage must meet LTV requirements. UWM provides a second lien for the 3% of the purchase price up to $15,000. Okay, so basically, to qualify for the zero down, 3% max of $15,000. That means to get that, it's got to be the mortgage has to be $500,000 or less. Okay, now they can still get the $15,000, but over $500,000, it wouldn't truly be no down payment. Okay, just for just to be completely transparent and clarify that right up front, which I'm sure we'll have some questions on. The second lien has no monthly payment requirement and no interest. The second lien balance is due when the first lien loan is refinanced or paid off, whichever comes first. Okay, so it's like a silent second kind of. Payments on the second lien can be made throughout the loan term, but aren't required. So they can pay it off, but they're not required to. Okay, there's no penalty for paying it off, but they're not required to. Now, here's how the borrowers can qualify. They must be at or below 80% of the area median income. The acronym for that is AMI, for the address of the property they're buying, okay, which you can just look that up. You can literally Google AMI and whatever county the property is in. There's any number of ways that you can find that. And if you need help, I mean, we'll help you with that. So that they have to be at or below 80% of the AMI for the address of the property they're buying and meet the home possible guideline requirements. And you can see some additional points here, and I'm happy to provide this the link to this for more, for those that are would like to know or understand the particulars better. For very low income borrowers whose qualifying income is at or below 50% of the AMI, they will receive a $2,500 credit as part of the 3% assistance. This credit does not need to be repaid by the borrower and lowers their debt obligation from the second lien. 620 plus FICO, and LTV must be equal to or greater than 95% up to 97%. Or, okay, that's one way they can qualify. Or the second way they can qualify, at least one borrower must be a first-time buyer and meet Home One and UWM's guideline requirements. First-time home buyer is defined as someone who has not had home ownership in a home in the last 3 years, okay? I'll repeat that. First-time home buyer is defined as someone who has not had ownership interest in a home in the last 3 years. So it's not really, it's not truly first-time buyer. It's not just that, they've never bought a home before. They just can't have had an ownership interest in a home in the last 3 years. And then for the second option for qualifying, they need a higher FICO. This is, again, this is all new. You can see there's an example here at this document. I'll drop a link to this document in the chat for those that are curious. But those are the guidelines and the ways that folks qualify and the way this is structured. Okay. Now, with that being said, this is a reason for you to reach out and have conversations. You can use this as a way to spark conversations on social media, with your email database, through text, or by picking up the phone, or by creating short form video content. And also, please understand that the vast majority of the opportunities that you will generate by using this hook or this special financing program to spark those conversations, the vast majority will likely end up going with another option or solution. For example, if someone doesn't meet the minimum FICO requirements, well, then we may pivot to an FHA loan, 3.5% down, and use one of our 5% down, one of our 5% down payment assistance programs. Okay. My point is this. This is a conversation starter, but it's, whether or not we ever put someone into this loan is irrelevant from the standpoint of it's an opportunity for you to have more conversations so you can assess how, if you can help them, how you can help them, and when do they need the help. Okay. But it is a wonderful special financing incentive that we should all use to have more of those conversations. Now, I cannot, full transparency, I can't tell you how long this will be available. I don't know if it's, the way these programs typically operate, if there isn't a deadline on its availability, it's subject to them determining, whether or not they're going to continue to offer it. Currently, there's no deadline for when the availability of this program will end. And generally speaking, if it were to be discontinued, they usually give us enough notice that we can use it as an opportunity to have even more of those conversations to determine, can we help these folks? When do they, how can we help them and when? Can we help them? How and when? Can we help? How and when? Cheryl asks, ownership interest include house in a trust? Well, I mean, you're splitting hairs there. And honestly, I'd have to get with an AE there to clarify that. My guess is that would probably be a gray area where we might be able to get around that. But I don't know for sure. That's a very specific scenario for sure. Okay. Good question. Good question. Q&A box here. Is this available in Monroe County, Florida? Absolutely. So let me backtrack a couple of steps here. NEXA Mortgage, we are licensed in 48 out of 50 states. The only states we're not licensed in are Massachusetts and New York. We've been working on licensing there for quite a while. It's a bit of a pain. There's a lot of red tape. And we're continuing to work to that end, but I have no idea timetable on when that might happen. But we are licensed in the other 48 out of 50 states. Now, our mortgage team specifically is licensed in 22 of the 48 possible states. However, we have a referral network so that if you're outside of that, those 22, we have ways that we can still refer you to a great LO who can help you and your client. Okay. Now, we put this together on such short notice that I have not been able to put together some of the marketing collateral that I normally would have had put together for all of you. So this week, we will be putting together text scripts, email scripts, even video scripts, maybe even social media swipe graphics that for those that are interested, you can literally just swipe and deploy them. One simple example that we use often is simply asking the question. So you've got a database of people that you have the ability to text with. They're unconverted buyer leads, let's say. You could text them something like this. We have a brand new mortgage program available where you can get a conventional mortgage with 0 down payment, period. Is that something you'd be interested in? Or is that something you'd like more information about? Now, we're going to play with that scripting because some of this language around 0 down can hit spam filters and things of that nature and cause a little bit of a red flag. So there is a way that you have to kind of frame it to make sure that the message gets delivered and it kind of message gets delivered and it gets through to their inbox. But to me, if I were you, the very first thing that I would be thinking about is making a list of 5 to 10 people that you're personally going to reach out to about this program. So people that maybe had previously been pre-approved, maybe they were pre-approved previously and you were trying because they didn't have a whole lot of money available, cash available for down payment. They were going FHA, but you were losing out on offers because you're making FHA offers and competing against conventional and or cash offers. That would be like the first, bucket of folks that I would go to. And my guess is most of you on here, if you sat and thought about it, you could come up with a list of people, whether it's the last 3 months, 6 months, or even 3 years that you've had those people that have either, they tried to get pre-approved and didn't, or they got pre-approved, but just didn't have a lot of money for down payment, or they, like I said, they even got pre-approved, you were making offers and just couldn't win out. This may be a reason. not maybe, I think it's a very good reason for you to reach out back out to them. And whether you call them, you text them, you send them a personal email, or you send them a personal direct message through Facebook uh, or um, uh, or Instagram. Nick, how much is the upfront MI? You know what? I'll have to get that answer for you. We're still, like I said, this is so new that we don't have all of the particulars on that. But here's what I would say to you once again. I would be less concerned about knowing every little minute detail and more concerned about how can I use this to get more conversations going now, and we can explore the particulars with them. John, is this income based? Yes. So I don't know if you had hopped on late, but it's a good point to repeat here or emphasize. So how borrowers can qualify. Borrowers must be at or below 80% of the area median income, the AMI, for the address of the property they are buying and meet home possible guideline requirements. So there's, or the alternate option is this one here, higher. They need to have a higher FICO in this scenario. And it's, if you're curious, I mean, we can find out what the, if they're within that 80% threshold, or you can just go, area median income, Dauphin County, PA. Okay. I don't know why I did Dauphin and not Cumberland, but so it would be 80% in this scenario. It'd be 80% of the 67,000. And that's I would say that Dauphin County, I'm in a very rural area. Dauphin County is a more rural area. There's going to be many of you on here whose AMI is significantly greater than that, right? Once again, this is a reason for you to have a conversation. I want you to be knowledgeable enough to at least have the conversation. But the reality is, for an interested party, the best thing you can do is turn it over and let us see if this program will be a fit for them. And if not, what might be a better fit for them, right? So that you can focus on what you do best and we can focus on what we do best. Replay, question mark. So I've set this up so that this will automatically be available on demand at the same link. So as soon as this is done, it will be available immediately after on demand. We also will get the recording added to our YouTube channel at Wake Up Real Estate. Wake Up Real Estate. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And also it'll get added to our site, wakeup.realestate, wakeup.realestate. So we'll have that available immediately after. There's monthly mortgage insurance, correct, right? So there will be monthly mortgage insurance on that, and that calculation we have to know all the facts and figures and so forth. I can't necessarily quote what that number would be here. But if you have somebody, as I said, if or when you have someone who is interested, we can run those numbers and figure out what that would look like in their scenario or situation. So I want to summarize again here. Here's how it works. Our wholesale lender here, our partner at UWM, will provide a second lien mortgage for 3% of the purchase up to $15,000, right? So it's a 97% LTV first mortgage, conventional financing. The second lien has no monthly payment requirement and no interest, and the balance is due. Okay, the balance is due when the first lien loan, the first lien mortgage, is refinanced or paid off, whichever comes first. And payments on the second can be made throughout the loan term, but are not required. Okay, so it doesn't count towards their DTI. Okay, and they obviously have to qualify for the first lien requirements, right? So they have to qualify for the 97% conventional mortgage product. It's just that then UWM is offering this 3% second so that we can help more borrowers. Because let's face it, it's tough, right? I mean, with the average home price going up, income, not even coming close to sort of keeping pace with that, it's hard out there. And so I think this is a wonderful way that at least, one pretty big player in the mortgage industry is trying to help more folks realize, either for the first time or the next time, the American dream of home ownership. So now here's what we can do next. Okay, so if this is something you're interested in, here's what you can do next. Number one, if you'd like to have a direct conversation about this or about a particular client with this, or just generally speaking, how we might help and some of the things that we do and offer to our co-marketing partners, our realtor co-marketing partners, I'd be happy to chat with you. You can schedule a time to chat with me at josh15.com, or you can just call or text me. I'm going to put all my contact information below here. So I'm going to put my Calendly link. I'm going to put my cell phone, and I'm going to put my email here. You can also find a number of different ways that you can refer clients at joshvips.com. joshvips.com. The last thing that I'll mention as far as this goes is we can set you up with co-branded mortgage application links to make it easy for you to refer potential clients when you're having these conversations. They can create an account for free very easily from their phone or laptop and get started with an application right then and there. It's mobile optimized. It's super easy and smooth and simple. And we set up, generally speaking, we're setting up a new agent, one or two per day with co-branded links to make it easy for them to refer those clients as they're having those conversations. And for those that want even more help, we do even create and set up complete campaigns to help grow your database. And we have many partners that we actually actively are working to follow up with and get more conversations, set more appointments, and get more applications. In fact, last week, I'm going to have my numbers slightly wrong here, but I want to say that we set something like 38 appointments and got 18 to 20 new applications from our realtor partners that we're working with on the mortgage side from a co-marketing perspective. So lots of ways that we can and would love to help you grow your business, convert more of your existing database into appointments and clients, and help you fill your database with more of those folks as well. Any other questions or points of clarification about this zero down conventional financing option before we wrap up? And I was hoping to keep this one kind of short and sweet, just kind of give you some things to chew on, and then let you get to actually using this to have more conversations and create more opportunities for yourself. All right. Well, if you're watching this after the fact and you have questions that we didn't address, you can comment below. You can go to wakeup.realestate and use the chat widget, or the contact information. My contact information will be above or below the description if you're watching this on replay, or it's in the chat as well. Thanks so much. We'd love to help you grow your business, and all you have to do is ask, and let's figure out the best way for us to do that together. So thanks for hopping on and checking this out. Appreciate you all, and hopefully we'll chat soon.